Now, in order to make that happen, we have to talk about belief systems, because it's all in our head no matter what. Life is perception, perception, perception. So it's in our head. Here's the first belief system that we have to be aware of. Number one, that change is a must and not a should. It's a must and not a should. And we know how that happens. I really should exercise. I really should go back to school. I really should eat better. I should call my parents. Should. I call that people just kind of shitting all over themselves. What? But if it's a must, we move forward. Shoulds is too optional. Paul Revere, he had to. It was a must. So with that being the case, when you turn to your support partner, here's the question. Here's the discussion. I'm going to give you a few minutes. What must happen in your life to give you success? The second belief system that we want to talk about is this. We have to have a can-do attitude. We have to believe that we not only can change, but we can also succeed in changing. We have to be confident in our ability to adjust no matter what. Individuals that are able to change in the face of anything are successful. So it's all about self-esteem. Here's the third belief. This is the third belief system that we need to have. And this is, in my estimation, is the most important one. The past does not equal the future. The past doesn't have nothing to do with the future, which means just because we failed in the past doesn't mean we'll fail in the future. Conversely, just because we were successful in the past doesn't mean we'll be successful in the future. I'll prove that in just a minute. So here's a good example of that before we discuss it. In the 14th century, there was a Spanish explorer. His name was Hernando Cortez. Hernando had this goal of conquering central Mexico. And the first time he tried to do it, he was defeated greatly by the Aztec army, but he still had a goal of conquering central Mexico. So this is what he decided to do. He set sail from the West Indies back to central Mexico. And he organized a fleet of 11 ships. And once they all arrived there, they got off all the ships, and then they were standing there. Each ship had about 200 people. And he began to make a speech, and this is what he said. He said, "Men, we are now in enemy territory. And we have three options. Number one, we can fight and overtake the Aztecs." And they roared and they cheered. They said, "Yes, that's what we'll do." He says, "Or number two, we can surrender. But if we do, men, they'll make slaves of us and eventually kill us." And they said, "Hernando, that is not a good idea." And then in number three, he said, "Or we can just go back home." Does anybody know what Hernando Cortez did after that? Sure did. Thank you, Laura. He burned the ships. He burned all of them down. His men thought he was crazy, but he concluded. You're impressed with her, huh? That was good. You weren't expecting that. Dee Dee giving that up. Is that really your nickname? You said Dee Dee was your nickname. Okay, gotcha. Okay, there you go. I don't even know you. I'm calling you by your nickname. Like, you don't know me like that? You're calling me Dee Dee? It's like... I got your answer right now, but all that Dee Dee thing. But sorry, Laura. But exactly, he burned his ships, and he concluded, "I have eliminated our third option. Now we must stay and fight." When it comes to change, we have to eliminate the third option of going back. Repeat after me. Once I make a change, I will not go back. If you need to write that down, do that now. Once we make a change, don't go back.